Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Finally, we are at 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations to us, congratulations to me, and congratulations to the comics I narrate, because without them, this channel would not exist. So thank you. Viewer discretion is extremely advised in this video, because this is the bloodiest issue we are going to talk about. So get your mind right, get your food right. Okay, let's go. We pick up our story with Luthor having beaten up a gangster for manhandling his girlfriend and suddenly being interrupted by a gentleman called the librarian. If you don't know about the librarian, go watch my other videos. But just know, he's a man killer. I mean, he's a butcher of men. Literally, that's all he does. And in this moment, he's impressed. But he wants Luthor to finish the job. And Luthor is confused. Who are you? The librarian wasn't taking no for an answer. He straight up kicked the body towards Luthor. And Luthor caught it. This was a whole ass human and they were using him to play soccer. But Luthor knew at that moment that he was done. But the librarian didn't give a fuck. He attacked Luthor straight up. With so much force, he crashed through the building into another room. Luthor had to scream, "Jesus Christ." The librarian laughed. "Yes, I am way more than a bully or a drug dealer thug." And at that moment, Luthor realized that it was him that was killing everyone in his life who had caused him harm, telling him, "You're welcome." But Luthor said, "Welcome? I never wanted them dead." Then the librarian corrected him that, "Of course you did. There's only one reason you have gained this talent, because you have an innate ability to kill." Luthor, the lovable giant, didn't want to hear all of that, so he clenched his fist and attacked the librarian. But this librarian was a skilled fighter. Even before he could land, he gained the upper hand, flipping Luthor in the middle of the air and kicking him down with his heel, causing the floor to break apart. And then he landed on the floor below. The librarian clearly wanted to play some more, but for now, he was done, and Luthor had to rest. So he knocked Luthor out with one punch. But he wasn't done with Luthor. No, he had a plan. This is when we find out that that gangster apparently had some friends, and they were not happy to see him in the hospital. Even when the nurse made it clear that they needed space for him to rest, they were not taking no for an answer, threatening the doctors and nurses until they left. And when they did, they asked who did this to you. But their friend couldn't answer because Luthor never showed his face. Which is why the librarian thought it best to call and inform them that Luthor was the person who did all of this, knowing full well that gangsters would attack Luthor's family without a second thought. Luthor had a choice to make. But he didn't know that because right now he was knocked out. And when he finally came to, he was in a place he could not recognize. Or at least he thought he could not recognize. This place was his house. His original house. With his deadbeat father knocked out and bleeding in the corner. This is when we learned that the librarian was not only a good fighter, but he was smart as well. Because he was playing some dangerous mind games. He was the person who gave Luthor the book in the first place. So Luthor asked him a question. "Why did you give me the book?" He said, "Wrong question." So Luthor rephrased, "Why did you pick me?" And he smiled, saying, "Let me tell you a story. A story of the birth of murder. Murder is our first instinct, our only instinct, here to make us strong. In essence, murder is good." He goes on to explain throughout time. From Cain and Abel, murder was just there to allow human beings break their limitation, gain power, gain strength, teaching them how to survive, how to fight, how to summon the strength within them, how to see things they couldn't see without it. And we see that over the years, people had documented their experience, their training, their practices for killing. Every prolific killer from history was a part of this cult, and they all documented their methods in one book. A book that had been stripped down and reconstructed into the Hercules method. And not everyone could understand the book, just a specific few. Him Luthor Strode and Luthor Strode's father had the capability to be great, to be amazing killers. So Luthor asked him a simple question: what do you want from me? And he made it clear: I want you to kill your father. I want you to join us by finishing the job. Luthor looked at his pathetic father, the man who, when he was a child, put his hands on his brother. Nobody deserved death more than him. Luthor had gone all his life hating this man. Luthor was a slave to his hate. But this choice he was supposed to make was one he wasn't comfortable making. He was not going to be a slave to his hate any longer. He said no, standing up for himself, wearing his mask in front of the librarian, walking away once and for all. But this librarian didn't give a shit. He just wanted to kill. And he killed Luthor's father with one kick to the face. With such great strength and speed, his brain turned to dust. And Luthor knew at that second it was up. But before Luthor could attack, he made it clear that he sent those gangsters to attack Luthor's mother. Luthor doesn't play about his mother, so he left the fight with such speed, thinking he could save his mother, running as fast as he could, crossing the streets like the Flash. He was not going to allow his mother get hurt, not any longer. He ran with such speed. If you were in his way, you would have been trampled. And when he saw his apartment door, he crashed straight through it like a boss, only to face a very weird sight. His mother was okay, and so was his best friend. The librarian lied. But did he lie? He said a special woman, and he forgot he had another special woman in his life. Right now, his baby girl was about to die, and he was miles away from her location. Thank you for watching my video, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. You lot not ready for the second part of this story. I promise.